The tennis world had been waiting for this moment. The first match of her North American hardcourt swing. The first test of her post-Wimbledon form. The first chance to prove that her historic run was not a fluke. And Eala passed with flying colors. Down a set. Down a break. Facing the Olympic gold medalist who had shattered her dreams 3 years ago at the Asian Games. The odds were stacked against her. The crowd in Washington was filled with Filipino fans, but even they had doubts. And then, everything changed. Eala didn't just fight back. She dominated. 7 consecutive games. A stunning 4-6, 6-4, 6-1 victory over Zheng Qinwen. The Philippines erupted. The tennis world took notice. And Eala, the 21-year-old from Quezon City, had finally avenged her Asian Games defeat. But the victory was only half the story. Because after the match, in a moment that Filipino fans had been waiting to hear, Eala revealed something far more powerful than any tennis strategy. A secret, a mindset, a truth that had carried her through the darkest moments of her career. The words came from a place deeper than any tennis court, any ranking, any victory. They came from a young woman who had refused to attach her self-worth to her results, who had built an inner rock that no opponent could shake, who had learned to love herself apart from what she achieved on the court. "I don't think she would be very surprised to see me now," Eala had said of her younger self. 1, because she was a big dreamer, and 2, because she also had no idea what it took to get here. But what I would tell her is that it's so much better than she could have ever imagined. Now, after winning her first DC Open match, she was ready to share that secret with the world. Welcome to Rallyverse. The journey to this moment had been 3 years in the making. It was the 2023 Asian Games in Hangzhou, China. Eala was 18 years old, ranked number 192 in the world. She had just reached the semifinals, where she faced Zheng Qinwen, the top-seeded Chinese star and the overwhelming favorite to win the gold medal. What followed was a 3-hour war. Eala was blown away in the first set, losing 6-1. But she refused to quit. She fought back in the second set, winning a tiebreak 7-6 to force a decider. Zheng eventually prevailed, 6-3 in the third set, and went on to win the gold medal. Eala settled for bronze. Eala was the only player in the entire tournament to take a set off Zheng. But it wasn't enough. The loss had haunted her for 3 years. Now, in Washington, D.C., they were meeting again. Zheng was the Olympic gold medalist. She had beaten the best in the world. She had once been ranked number 4 in the WTA rankings. But she had undergone right elbow surgery in July 2025, causing her ranking to slip to number 123. Eala, meanwhile, had climbed to world number 28. She had beaten Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon. She was a different player than the 18-year-old who had lost in Hangzhou. The match began with a flurry of brilliance from Eala. She broke Zheng's serve in the opening game and held her own to take a 2-0 lead. The Filipino fans in the stands erupted. But Zheng, the Olympic champion, responded with devastating power. She unleashed her booming serve and aggressive ground strokes, breaking Eala twice to take the first set 6-4. Zheng was in control. She was serving with authority, racking up 14 aces throughout the match. She was dictating rallies. She was pressuring Eala's serve. And then, in the 7th game of the second set, she broke Eala at love to take a 4-3 lead. The crowd fell silent. Zheng was 2 games away from victory. But then, something happened. Something that would change the course of the match. Eala didn't fold. She didn't panic. She immediately broke back at love, unleashing a roar that shook the stadium. That break kick-started a run of 7 consecutive games that saw Eala take the second set 6-4 and race to a 4-0 lead in the decider. Eala wrapped up the deciding set 6-1, sealing the upset after 2 hours and 26 minutes. After the match, the questions came fast. What was the key to the comeback? How did she find the mental strength to turn the match around? What was the secret to her success? Eala smiled, and then she revealed something that Filipino fans had been waiting to hear. "I think it's definitely a mindset that you have," Eala said. "That being said, I think it's been trained or I've practiced. I've had more experience now to implement that mindset at the higher level." But the secret went deeper than just mindset. It went to the very core of her identity. When asked about the unwavering support she receives from fans around the world, Eala didn't focus on herself. She credited her Filipino identity. "I think the question should be rephrased. It's what it's like to be Filipino, Eala said. The words resonated deeply with millions of Filipinos. Because Eala wasn't just talking about tennis. She was talking about community, about identity, about the Filipino concept of kapwa, the sense of shared identity and community that has carried her through the toughest moments of her career. I think the community here in DC is amazing. I think there was a great atmosphere for both players, and I'm really happy with my win today, Eala said. But the most powerful revelation came when Eala spoke about her journey to mental strength. In a previous interview, she had revealed the darkest secret of her career, the toxic belief that her self-worth was tied to her results. One thing I've had to unlearn is detaching or not allowing self-worth to correlate with the results, she had said. I think that is something a little toxic, but it's also something that's a little natural in the field that I'm at. The realization was a turning point in her career. She had to learn that she was more than her ranking, more than her victories, more than the expectations of the tennis world. She had to learn to love herself apart from what she achieved on the court. Now it's like a rock, guys. I'm happy to say that I love myself. I'm not comparing to anyone else. And I wish that on every little girl and every woman, she said. The crowd at the Mubadala DC Open was a testament to Eala's growing global appeal. Filipino fans from all across the East Coast had flocked to Washington, D.C. to see their hero. They came from Maryland, from Virginia, from every corner of the region. They waved Philippine flags. They chanted her name. They created an atmosphere that lifted Eala when she needed it most. Tournament chairman Mark Ein revealed just how big Eala's impact has been. Over the last month, the ticketing team says at least 80%, if not more, of the requests in this tournament are about when is Alex Eala playing? Honestly, I think it's more, and they just didn't want to say it was more, but they're, like, virtually all. It's not an exaggeration. Eala acknowledged the support after her victory. I think the community here in DC is amazing. I think there was a great atmosphere for both players, and I'm really happy with my win today, she said. The support also came from an unexpected source. Venus Williams' husband, Andrea Preti, was spotted in the stands cheering for Eala during her opening match. He posted on his Instagram story, "Let's go at Alex.Eala." The support came just days after Eala had withdrawn from the doubles event with Williams, citing her need to focus on singles. Eala had explained her decision with characteristic honesty. "I have so much respect for Venus. I am so grateful for every opportunity that I have to be around her, to learn from her, to hit with her. But I do think this is my first week coming back, and I think that Venus is someone who deserves a partner who can give their all physically, emotionally, mentally when they're on court with her." Eala's secret is not just about technique. It's about a mental framework that she has developed through years of struggle and self-reflection. "Before I walk out on court, there's a certain mentality that I found to have, or I guess players have to have, and that mentality is, I can beat anybody," Eala had explained. "You have to go onto the court and believe that you can win, because otherwise, what are you doing there? Are you there to just play?" But in the same sense, it goes vice versa. You have to remember that anybody can beat you. The balance is delicate. Confidence without arrogance. Belief without entitlement. Eala has mastered this balance through years of experience on the professional tour. She also uses a simple but powerful tool to manage pressure, a notebook. Before every match, she writes down her game plan and the most important points she needs to remember. When her mind becomes crowded with pressure and doubt, she returns to those notes and narrows her attention to one or two things she can execute immediately. "I think I just focus point by point," Eala said after her victory over Zheng. "I was trying to keep the intensity in every point that I had and try not to give her too many free points. I think intensity is really key in these types of matches when you're playing players of her caliber. The secret is also about authenticity. I try to be as authentic as I can. I believe in being genuine. I believe in my values," Eala had said. She has spoken about the importance of having good people around her and the value of advice from experienced champions. Eala's victory over Zheng was more than just a win. It was a statement. She had now beaten all three Olympic medalists from Paris 2024, Zheng, gold, Donna Vekic, silver, and Iga Swiatek, bronze. It was a rare feat that no one else on the tour could claim. "I'm really happy with my win today," Eala said, basking in the cheers of flag-toting Filipinos who came to watch her play. Her next opponent was Leylah Fernandez, the defending champion and the woman who had beaten her in Stuttgart earlier this year. Fernandez has Filipino heritage, making the matchup even more intriguing for the Filipino community. Eala expected a tough match. I think it's going to be a very tough match for me. Eala is such an amazing player and an amazing person as well, she said. I think right now, my first priority is to recover, take care of my body so that I can arrive in the best shape possible to compete, Eala added. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to the biggest stages in the world. From a 13-year-old girl alone in Spain to a national hero celebrated by presidents and adored by millions. From being told she couldn't do it to standing on the brink of history. Eala has defied every expectation. And the secret she finally revealed, the secret of self-worth, identity, and community, is the foundation of everything she has achieved. Leben lang. Always. And remember, on Rallyverse, we bring you the stories that define the sport, the drama, the comebacks, the moments that change everything. Stay tuned for more.